Sometimes a marriage ends with a fight. Sometimes it ends with a
Ethan
dinner
Reeves came home
invitation.
smelling of motor oil and salt water, the scent of a day spent fixing Mr. Patterson's boat engine. He washed his hands, but the grease clung to him, much like his past as a soldier. In the kitchen, his wife of 17 years, Emily, chopped vegetables with razor-sharp precision. Their son, Noah, was lost in his phone, barely looking up. How was work? Emily's voice was flat, a tone he knew meant distance was growing between them. Good, he said. Finish Patterson's engine. He watched the gray, greasy water swirl down the drain. How was your day? She was a partner at a prestigious law firm, and her rise to the top had changed their marriage in ways he could feel but couldn't quite name. Busy, she replied. The North Star merger is a nightmare. Then she dropped the bombshell. Oh, I forgot to mention, I ran into Nate today. His hand froze. Nate Carver, her ex. The one she almost married, now a corporate big shot in New York. He's in town for a conference, she continued, a little too casually. So I invited him to dinner tomorrow. The silverware he was holding clattered onto the counter. Even Noah looked up, his teenage senses tuned to conflict. You invited your ex-boyfriend into our home without asking me? Emily turned, her face a mask of condescension. It's just dinner, Ethan. We're all adults. Stop being so controlling. That word controlling hit him like shrapnel. He'd been trained to maintain composure under fire, and tonight was no different. It's about respect, he said, his voice even. Oh, please, she snapped. It's been 20 years. Act like the mature adult I married. A coldness settled deep inside him, the same kind he'd felt in Afghanistan right before an ambush. All right, he said softly. Dinner at 7. Her surprise was obvious. She'd expected a fight. She didn't realize he'd already switched to combat mode. In 17 years, she had never once reached back into her past. Tonight, she had opened a door, and he could feel danger crawling through it. The next evening, Ethan showered early and put on clean clothes. Preparing himself with the calm of a Marine before a mission, at 7 p.m. sharp, the doorbell rang. Nate Carver stood there in a tailored suit, oozing expensive cologne and confidence. Nice to finally meet you, Nate said with a practiced smile. Likewise, Ethan replied, come with me. I'd like to show you something. He led Nate not to the living room, but to the garage's sanctuary. Tools were arranged with military precision, and a half-restored 1968 Chris Craft boat gleamed under the bright lights. You do all this yourself? Nate asked, impressed. Yes, it's my business. Ethan leaned against his workbench, his voice dropping to a low, persuasive tone. I know exactly who you were to Emily. Nate's smile faltered. I'm not sure what you mean. You dated for 3 years, you were engaged. And now you're suddenly back. The tension in the garage thickened. I protect what's mine, Ethan said quietly. Always have. Always will. Are you threatening me? Nate's voice was tight. No, Ethan said, his smile lacking any warmth. Just making sure you understand the terrain. When they returned to the kitchen, Emily watched them, sensing something was wrong. Dinner was a battlefield disguised as a social gathering. She laughed a little too loudly at Nate's jokes and touched his hand a little too naturally. They reminisced with an intimacy that left Ethan on the outside looking in. He stayed silent, observing every glance, every gesture, like a scout on reconnaissance. When the night ended and Ethan walked Nate to the door, he left him with one final message. You can patch a hole in a boat, Nate, but deep damage always sinks the vessel. The moment Nate was gone, Emily's fury erupted. What did you say to him? You embarrassed me. I was being friendly, Ethan said. Friendly? You acted like a guard dog? Is that what we're calling him now? A colleague? Ethan's voice was calm, but lethal. The fight escalated until she finally declared, This is why I didn't tell you earlier, and stormed upstairs. Ethan sat alone, replaying the evening. Every look, every touch, every lie disguised as laughter. Something was deeply wrong. In the weeks that followed, Emily's behavior became a checklist of cliches: late nights at the office, a guarded phone, new lingerie, and smiles at her screen she never gave to him. Their son Noah noticed it too. "Mom's acting weird," he told Ethan. "Dad, is everything okay?" Ethan put an arm around him. "We're fine. Don't worry about adult stuff." But he knew the truth. His wife was having an affair. He made a call to Blake Thompson, a former Marine brother who now ran a private security firm. "I need a favor," Ethan said. "Discreet. Name it. I need to know if my wife is cheating." A brief, understanding silence. "I'll put my best guy on it." Days later, Ethan sat in his workshop, staring at a folder of evidence. Photos of Emily and Nate, hotel receipts for the Ritz-Carlton, room 1142, credit card statements. A timeline of their meetings. He even had copies of emails where they mocked him and planned a future together. "Ethan suspects nothing," she wrote. "He's so absorbed in his boat projects. We deserve this chance." Each sentence was a fresh cut, but he didn't feel himself break. Instead, something hardened inside him. Love turned to steel. He didn't confront her, not yet. He waited, observed, and prepared. Then, the perfect opportunity presented itself. The Boston Bar Association gala. Emily was set to receive an award for integrity and pro bono excellence, and the presenter, Nate Carver. The irony was so thick, it was almost theatrical. Ethan had no intention of starting an argument. He was going to orchestrate a revelation. Some men chase revenge. Ethan pursued exposure clean, surgical, and undeniable.